Hello, my name is Marley and happy Pride Month. Today I'm going to be starting a new weekly reading blog where I read 3 popular LGBTQIA plus books in honor of Pride Month. So I'm just going to introduce you to the books that I want to read this week, and then I'll just explain more about each book as I read them in the blog. So first of all, I want to read Written in the Stars by Alexandria Bellfleur. This is a female-female romance book. Basically, these 2 girls go out on a date and it doesn't really go very well, but the one girl really wants it to work because her family just puts a lot of pressure on her to have a relationship. So she begs the other girl to fake date her so that she can please her family. So we love a fake dating trope, and then I think they will naturally actually fall in love. It's also called Written in the Stars because one of the characters is big on astrology. So I also am into astrology, so very excited to see how that will play into the story. The next book I want to read is Boyfriend Material by Alexis. This is a male-male romance where, again, there is a fake dating trope involved. Basically, our one character is this famous kind of rock star, I believe. He has a bad reputation, so he has to date this person for PR reasons to, make himself have a better image to the press. And then I think they will grow real feelings. And then the third book that I want to read is The Extraordinaries by TJ Klune. Our main character is also queer in this book, and there's something to do with superheroes in this world. I think those are the extraordinaries, but our main character is just ordinary, but he kind of has a crush on an extraordinary person. I think he starts reading like fan fiction about them, something like that. And I think there's also a lot of romance in this book as well. I'll explain more about the books when I actually read them. But yeah, very excited to read all 3 of these books and celebrate some queer stories this month. Alright, so I reached 45% of the way through Written in the Stars, and I'm totally loving this book. To give more detail about it, our 2 main characters are Elle and Darcy. Elle is definitely more of the sunshine one, and Darcy is more of the grumpy one, which honestly, I live for that trope and that dynamic, the grumpy sunshine dynamic, loving that. But anyways, Elle is the one who is a social media astrologer. She's basically created a career for herself that is based off astrology. Like, she has a blog and she gives readings and stuff like that. She also has a business partner that's her best friend, and honestly their friendship is really great as well, so I'm liking that. They end up getting into a partnership with, I'm forgetting the guy's name now, but he created this dating app. So they are going to have some sort of astrology aspect to the dating app now that Elle is going to be working on. And then it's through her business partner that she gets set up on a date with Darcy, because that is Darcy's brother. The very first chapter is them going on this date, and it goes like really poorly. For one thing, like Elle is late, then some wine gets spilled, things like that. And they're also very, very opposite because, as I said, Elle believes in astrology and she's just sort of more of a carefree person, and Darcy, she's an actuary, which I think has something to do with like finance and business, and she's a little bit more Capricorn. She's a little bit more of a Capricorn, let's just say. She's a little bit more like by the book and less carefree. So the date does not go well. Elle is sad because she really, she's a romantic. She really wants to find a relationship. Darcy is the one that doesn't want a relationship because she has had some sort of a breakup recently that clearly really is still affecting her. Yet her brother is like pressuring her to get back out there. So when the brother asks her how the date went, she ends up lying and saying that it actually did go well, and she is going to continue seeing Elle even though it actually was terrible. They end up deciding to fake date to sort of help each other. It's gonna help Darcy out because it makes her brother kind of get off her back for a bit about how she should be dating, and then it helps Elle out because Elle has issues with her family not really respecting what she does for a living and how she lives her life. So dating someone like Darcy, who who is very like by the book, has that 9-to-5 job and all that stuff. She thinks her family will respect her more if she's dating someone like that. So those are sort of the perks that they get from fake dating each other, and I'm just loving the scenes of them together. We get POVs from both of them, so I feel like you really understand where both of them are coming from. Then you can also understand when there's like misunderstandings that happen. It's just a really, really cute dynamic. The grumpy sunshine thing, the almost like forbidden love because they're not supposed to get feelings for each other because they're supposed to break up in a month, but obviously they are getting feelings for each other, and it's just really, really cute. That tension is building. Yeah, I don't know, I'm really liking it, so I wanted to pop in here and say that. And I don't know if we'll do any more updates until the end of the book, but I'll let you know. Pretty? Is that me? Is that me on the cover?
I hope not.
So I am now 75% through Written in the Stars, and I'm kind of sad because I'm not enjoying it as much as I enjoyed the first half of it. Actually, I think I'm like 80% now. But here's the thing, I always love the build up to the relationship, the like before part, and I like slow burn relationships, and I just feel like this one happened very quickly and kind of like the couple got together, and then there was some smutty scenes, which I'm not big on the smutty scenes. We had like 2 big ones already, and it's just like I'm skimming through them, like it's not really interesting to me, those parts. I just really like that tension, so like the before they get together, or like the before they admit their feelings to each other, and I feel like there just wasn't enough of that in this book. I am like happy for the characters because I still think they're really cute, think their dynamics really cute, but I think the romance books that have like a longer build up to them actually getting together and are slower burns are the ones that I prefer. So now I'm getting close to the end, and I'm kind of just waiting for the other shoe to drop. I'm waiting for there to be that like 3rd act drama, which is interesting because I don't even know what the drama is going to be. I feel like normally you kind of know where the story's going, like one character has been keeping something from the other the whole time or something like that, and I don't really see what that could be. There's like something we haven't found out about one of the characters, but I don't think it would be the reason for the other character to get mad. So I'm kind of interested to see what this final act drama will potentially be, because I'm sure there will be one with 20% left. But yeah, so I'm just not enjoying it like as much. I'd probably drop the rating a little bit because of that, but I still think it's really cute. I still think most people out there would like it. These are just like personal things that I don't love in romance. So today is Thursday. I have, of course, my work. I don't really have any schoolwork tonight, so I think I will definitely finish up Written in the Stars, and then I can probably start boyfriend material next. To check in because I finished Written in the Stars. I gave it 4 stars. Basically, I kind of already said my opinion on it, that I did think it was very cute, but that I wish that there was more of a build-up between the couple, more of a slow burn. The conflict at the end did end up being just kind of one of those annoying end of the book conflicts that was kind of like a misunderstanding or whatever, kind of annoying, but obviously it got solved and it had a cute ending. I've started boyfriend material now. It's a bit of an odd book, isn't it? It is a British book, so I just feel like the British slang is like getting to me, but it's very, very similar to Written in the Stars in that it has the fake dating trope. So I kind of wish I didn't read these back to back, but oh well. We have Luke, or Lucian, and he is actually the son of a famous rock star that was kind of like problematic, but he's making a comeback. His father is. And then his mom also was a musician, but she's like hasn't been active for a while, so he's basically just known because of his parents, but he just has like a very basic nothing job. He can't really get any great job because everyone knows about him, and he's kind of been getting this bad reputation of being like a party boy because the paparazzi will catch him even if he's not doing anything crazy. It's just like the paparazzi catch him partying, so then he has this bad reputation that is affecting his work. So then his boss basically tells him he has to be better or else he's gonna be fired. He has to have a better reputation. So someone at work suggests he just gets a fake boyfriend that makes him look good. I'll admit, at first I thought the person at work was gonna be that romantic love interest, but it wasn't. It's this other guy that Luke knows named Oliver, and he didn't really like him, so it's kind of an enemies to lovers as well as fake dating. So I am liking it, even though the writing style is a little bit odd. If you've read this book, I feel like you'll know what I mean. Like, it's a little bit weird, but I feel like that is pretty common with like British books, no offense. Like, sometimes they're kind of like, it's like a different sort of humor almost, and it can be like a little cringe. But I do like the dynamic between the two of them. It's sort of similar again to Written in the Stars, where one of them is like the more uptight one and one of them's more carefree one. But again, I like that dynamic. I think it's really cute. So yeah, I'm not very far in it so far, but it's Friday. I have a bunch of stuff to do during the day, work, things like that, but hopefully tonight I can get a lot further in it, maybe even finish. We'll see. So I'm popping in here to say I really hate the side characters in this book. They're really grating. We just had like some scenes with them that were just way too dragged out. But I'm also here to say I stan Oliver, and he is my favorite. Oliver is the boyfriend, or the fake boyfriend, and he is great. I'm loving his character. He's so sweet, and he's what's really making this book. Our main character is like in the middle. Like, I don't totally hate him like the side characters, but I don't totally love him like Oliver. I feel like he's so dramatic about the paparazzi too. Like, I feel like we're having a lot of telling instead of showing of, oh, the paparazzi are always after me. But I'm like, are they really? But it's funny because Oliver and Luke are like, oh, we better text so people think we're really dating. We better do this. And it's like, the paparazzi aren't seeing if you text. Like, you're just doing that because you like each other. So that's kind of cute. Hey, so just came in from a fire in our building, so we had to evacuate. So that was fun for our Saturday night. I did manage to finish boyfriend material before the fire happened, and I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars again. It was very, very similar to Written in the Stars. I know I mentioned they had the fake dating trope and everything, but they were honestly so similar. Like, Written in the Stars was the lesbian version of this story, and then boyfriend material is like the gay version. But they're so similar. They followed like the same linear path. The characters, I feel, went through similar growth storylines as well. I think this book, boyfriend material, was quite funny. I know I mentioned that it was a little cringy at times, and it really was. It kind of took that extra step with the humor, and for me, sometimes it hit and sometimes it missed, but it did have some funny moments. And I just stand by that the main couple is really, really cute, especially because of Oliver, although he did have, you know, his own personal things to deal with. I will say the book seemed to go on way too long, even though it did make me come to like the characters more. Alright, since I was so rudely interrupted by that fire alarm, let's continue. It ended up being a false alarm that I guess got triggered because it was a real alarm before. Anyways, so I finished boyfriend material that night. I think I was saying that the book felt very long, but it made me get more and more invested in the characters, so that by the end I did feel a lot more invested and like I actually cared about these characters more than I would have in like Written in the Stars or a shorter book. So I guess that's good, but just be aware, like, it definitely goes on and on. In the meantime, I have started the Extraordinaries by TJ Klune, and I am loving it so much. I'm over 50% now, or I'm around 50%. Let me just talk about it for a second. So if you don't know, here's the premise. We are following, of course, I freaking like forget the main character's name instantly. It's Nick. Okay, so we're following Nick, and he is this teenage boy. He is gay and he has ADHD, and his mom has passed away, so it's just him and his dad, who is a cop, right? And they live in a world that has these extraordinary people, which is essentially people with powers, aka superheroes. Specifically, there's this one called Shadow Star, I think it is. Nick is obsessed with him. He has a huge crush on him, and he writes fan fiction about him and the whole thing, and just like wants to be with this superhero. And there's also a villain that's called like Pyro Man or something like that with firepower. Anyways, then Nick also has his regular friends, including his best friend, which is Seth. And like, this is minor spoilers because I think it's pretty obvious like from the beginning of the book. It might even be in the description, but I don't think so. So minor spoilers, but it's pretty obvious that Nick, his best friend that he thinks is just a normal kid, is Shadow Star, is the superhero. It immediately was clear to me in the very first pages. We get a little excerpt of the fan fiction about Shadow Star, and just from what Seth comments on the post, I knew that it was him. As the book goes on, you can tell like it's him. And I think it's really interesting because this is a new take on superheroes where we are seeing from the love interest essentially, because Seth is Shadow Man, Shadow Star, whatever, and he's hiding it from everyone, you know, including Nick. And Nick is like the little oblivious love interest over here that's obsessed with the hero and doesn't realize that it's Seth, and doesn't realize that Seth has been in love with him. The friend's name better be Seth. For some reason I'm like, is it? But I think it is. So we have some pining going on because Seth, the best friend, is in love with Nick, but then Nick is in love with Shadow Star and doesn't know that that is Seth. So you see why this would be so entertaining, and it's like so cute because you know that Seth is the superhero, but Nick doesn't. And like, no offense to my man, like he is pretty dumb to not have figured it out, but I guess you just wouldn't expect your best friend to be a superhero. It makes sense, but like, let me tell you, it's like gets to be pretty obvious. But it's just such a fun setup for a book, like such a fun concept, so I'm loving it. And then I wasn't quite sure who the villain was at first, and then it became pretty clear who the villain is as well, the Pyro Man or whatever. So I really look forward to seeing Nick come to terms with hopefully figuring out that he likes Seth, and I kind of want him to figure that out before he finds out Seth is Shadow Star. I would really like him to realize he likes Seth for him and not just because he's this superhero. That is kind of what I want from it. Yeah, the romance is just really cute. I'm just so here for it, and this setup is great. So I'll be back when something interesting happens or when I've finished. Why am I suddenly questioning the identities of the superhero and the supervillain now? Is this a twist? Is this a twist? Let's take this bun out so I don't look bald, shall we? Oh god. Why do I look like Lady from Lady and the Tramp? Hey guys, so I finished The Extraordinaries by TJ Klune, and I absolutely am obsessed with this book. 5 stars, 100%. Like, it was so good. As I already expressed in my previous update, I still continue to adore this book as I read the second half. First of all, I want to say I feel like this is a superhero book for someone who's not super into superheroes. It's kind of like contemporary superhero themed. As I already explained, our main character is like the love interest, a non-powered person, so you're not being thrusted into all these action scenes, which I really liked because I'm not a huge action person. Although sometimes it was weird because like he would just turn on the TV and see the fight happening between the superheroes, or his friends would just tell him about it, and it is kind of weird to like not get to see the actual fight until there's like the big one at the end and like he's involved in it. I also liked how one of our superheroes' mother's name was Martha, which I feel like was definitely a reference to the fact that Batman and Superman's moms are both named Martha. But yeah, and then there were definitely some twists at the end. One of them was something that you could definitely see coming throughout the book, but I liked it kind of being confirmed and getting more information about it, and it definitely leads into the sequel book, which I looked up. I think I saw online that it comes out in a month, so that's honestly perfect. I can hopefully read it soon. But yeah, I'm really excited to see where the rest of the series goes, and would definitely recommend this book if you are into superheroes, if you want like a different take on it, or if you want a fun queer story or some ADHD rep as well. So obviously my favorite book of this vlog was The Extraordinaries, and then Boyfriend Material and Written in the Stars were both 4 stars, and were both very similar in how much I enjoyed them along with the plot. So I don't really know how I would order them. Maybe I liked Boyfriend Material more, but honestly they were pretty on par. So this is a pretty successful reading vlog. 2 4 stars on 1 5 star. Highly recommend all 3 of these books. There's still time in Pride Month to read them, so add them to your TBRs. But that is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys are having a good Pride Month. Please subscribe for more reading vlogs, wrap-ups, tags, challenges, things like that. And I'll see you next time. Bye!